Hello, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Cocktail Hour. Woo! It's the New Year's Eve show. I don't think we've done a New Year's Eve show before.
I don't think so.
I don't think we have.
I think we did. I think we did one year with. I'm going to have to go look now because I'm sure that we did. Because we did.
My God.
We did a drink with champagne in it.
Yeah, but
I
we
can't-
did that several different times. So I don't know. Anyway, so we're at the point where we're almost seeing 2022 in the rearview mirror.
Thank God.
I hope that
What a
2023 is
shit
better.
fest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, that's where we're at. So welcome to you. Welcome to our fabulous panel.
That's us.
Yeah, that's you.
That would be us. That would be. Happy New Year and Ingrid,
Oh
Yes.
yes, Ingrid, the
Sister Ingrid.
singer, Sister Ingrid, the boxing nun. Look at her go. She's
Okay.
got quite a right hook, I gotta say.
She does. It's true.
She almost took the dog out a few minutes ago. Y'all missed that.
Oh, Ingrid did almost take the dog out. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
Do we have any housekeeping issues?
I don't think so. I'll probably upload more old shows
Cool.
over the next several weeks. We have picked out our January book. It is called. Hold on, I gotta find it. Hold on. What the hell's it called? It's called.
Do you want me to look? Am I going to
No,
find it for you?
Now I got it. Even though I knew the end by C.L. Polk.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be doing that. I don't think we've picked a date
We haven't.
No.
for January yet, but it'll be
Mid
in the third or fourth week of January.
Works. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Cool.
Yes.
We're getting on the ball here after 10, 12, however many years. Yeah. So scary.
It's all good.
Eh.
Yep.
So- Oh goodness. So what's everybody drinking? Let's start with Sherry.
I am drinking something I just got today that I got as a free gift from Thrive Market, which I
Nice.
love. I love Thrive Market. It's by a company called Groovy, and I already get their dry Prosecco, non-alcoholic
Nice.
Prosecco, and it's the non-alcoholic wine that I've found that tastes the most like actual wine, because otherwise you end up with
Yeah.
grape juice, and I don't want grape juice. So it's a dry red blend. It's not carbonated, but it comes in the cans, and it's actually pretty good. It's
Nice.
actually pretty good.
Sweet. What you drinking, Colette?
Well, I wanted to have something fizzy because it's New Year's Eve, so I'm back to my Myrtle Spritz, the blackberry lemon
Mm-hmm.
champagne thing.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah. I
Yep.
hope you have more on reserve because that looks like maybe 2 more swallows for God's sake.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Maybe
Okay.
3.
Well, we'll see. Like, how many licks does it take to get to the
Yeah.
center?
Exactly.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Right. So I'm having a Bloody Mary.
And a half.
Little Christmas elf sent me some Bloody Mary mix, and it's not something I've heard of before, and along with pepper vodka. So I'm like, this sounds delicious, and it is.
Is it like
It is.
black pepper vodka, or is it like?
Yes, it's
Okay.
delicious.
Because I've seen that, but then it kind of made me wonder if maybe it was like green pepper vodka
Oh,
or
like-
something sort of vegetable based.
Oh, but I bet that might be kind of good with a Bloody Mary.
That's
Huh.
why I asked.
That it would.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, but no, and then the peppery vodka is so peppery that in the mix, my mouth has got tingles all up in it.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Don't say it's going to be a peppery vodka if it's not going to be a goddamn peppery vodka.
Exactly. See? But
In the meantime, we'll keep an eye on you, and if your face starts to swell up, we'll like do this or something so that you can get an EpiPen.
That's lovely.
Oh God! Thank God I don't have any of those issues. Woo, that I know of, anyhow.
Well, sometimes that stuff happens.
Yeah, that's true. Like out of nowhere,
Yeah, like all of a sudden you're allergic to shrimp or some dumb bullshit.
Yeah.
So this is what we read.
So yeah, the Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. So yes, that was our reading assignment. This book came out in 2017. So I think it's okay to say, there may be spoilers ahead.
I think so. The whole trilogy is out. So
yeah,
I think so. So I just want to preface this by saying that I read this book when it came out and I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And I've recommended this book before. Are you sweating?
No.
Oh, okay.
I dribbled a little bit.
I think.
Oh, I thought the heat was kicking in.
Yeah, I think the vodka's kicking in.
Yeah. So there's always a risk when I suggest a book that I really like to the group.
That's true.
Because Andy and I have had it out a few times, and then Colette's been involved in a few spats with gentle, loving spats.
Gone Girl comes to mind.
Gone Girl comes to mind. For Andy, the biggest one was this Aaron Dutton book that I loved, and Andy just hated it and ripped it apart. And I was drinking then, so I didn't take it very well. Yeah. So I was telling Colette that I reached out to you earlier in the week, and I was like, did you finish? And you said, yeah, and you didn't hate it. And I took that as a win. So
yeah, that's a win.
That is
I did not hate
it. Colette, I'm assuming you did not hate it.
So
Ingrid has to go lay down. I gotta I'm getting hot.
Oh no.
So at the end, I did not hate it.
Okay.
But I would say through the first half, I fucking hated this book.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, let's not get into that just yet.
Okay.
So because we need to talk about what it's about and all of that.
Sure.
So okay. So Colette found a wiki page, not on Wikipedia, but a wiki page for the trilogy. So
it's clearly beloved.
Oh, it is. It really is.
Trilogy, yeah. If they have set up a fandom page for it.
Yeah, okay. So The Bear and the Nightingale is a historical fantasy novel written by Katherine Arden. It's her debut novel, which I find incredible that it's a debut novel because I think it's beautifully written. The first novel in the Winter Night trilogy, The Bear and the Nightingale, is set in medieval Russia and incorporates elements of Russian folklore. The central character is a young girl, Vasya Petrovna. Sorry. There's a lot of that.
It doesn't get any easier from here.
No, her name is like the easiest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Vasya Petrovna, who is able to communicate with mythological creatures at a time when Orthodox Christianity is attempting to stamp out all belief in such beings. It was first published January 10th, 2017 by Del Rey Books and has since been translated into 15 languages. So the book starts out with Vasya hasn't been born yet. Her father is I guess like a mid-level lord, and his wife is clearly, not in the best of health. They've got four other kids. There's Kolya, Alyosha,
Alopecia.
Olga.
Alopecia.
No, and then just Olga. There's and Alexander. So there's already 4 kids, and then she tells Piotr the father, that she's pregnant again, and he's like, "We already have 4 kids. You have your girl. You're not in the best of health. I don't think you should have this kid." And she tells him that that she will see this daughter born, that he has, that Olga is more like him, but she comes from a line of
Soothsayer.
yeah, I mean, they're kind of magical women, right?
Yeah.
Her mom was magic, had sight and all of, could do things, and I don't remember all of it, but she knew that this daughter would be her daughter. She would carry on that tradition, and Piotr was like, "Okay, then we'll do it." And she does die in childbirth. And then, so Vasilisa Petrovna, little Vasya, she's just like a little hellion. When she is not your standard little medieval girl. She's able to communicate with the domovoi, the little. There's a lot of little Russian folklore beings in this book, which I loved that. I thought that was
He's
so
like
cool.
isn't that the house spirit?
Yeah, he lived in the oven. And then there was another one that lived in the stables, that was like the guardian of the horses, and she would communicate with them, and she could communicate with the horses, and so she was an expert rider because the horses taught her how to ride them. She's just like kind of little badass, and I love her. Then her father goes to he went to Moscow, right? That's where he picked up the husband for Olga and the wife for himself. So there was some.
He went to the mall.
Picked out his wife.
Sort of.
His son picked out a priest.
His son picked out a priest.
Religious wife.
Yeah, so the Anna, the woman that Piotr ends up with taking for his wife, she had wanted to be a nun. She wanted to go to the convent. She wanted to spend her life in service to God. Very devout Christian woman. And she so she comes back to the northern area where Piotr has his lands, and becomes stepmother to the rest of the kids. Then they have Piotr and TJ's back from the grocery store.
Yes,
and the cat's very excited about it. Yes. So they come back. Okay, so they come back.
But you're kind of glossing over all the sexist reasons why these things happened, right?
Okay, but first I want to point out that this is the medieval. This is medieval Russia, and I knew that I knew that this was gonna be a top of a conversation, and it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the time, that's how it was. Women,
sure.
and I think, Vasya really does discuss this quite a lot,
mm-hmm.
about, that her whole thing is, I'm not somebody's broodmare. I don't want to live in a cage. I either have to go to the convent and be in that cage, or I have to get married and be in that cage. I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a scene where Vasya gets lost in the woods. I think she's 6. It's a snowstorm, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this 6-year-old kid doing wandering around in the woods? Right? So you have to question their parenting skills. And
I think Piotr wasn't around. He
right.
definitely
So
wasn't
then
gonna.
they rescue her, and then they talk to their father, and they're like, because there's Dunya. You left out Dunya, who is
Dunya. Yeah.
the basically their housekeeper, or
She's kind of
she
their
seems
nerd.
more exalted than that.
Yeah, she was.
A nanny.
She was like the nursemaid to Marina, the mother, and then came from Marina's household
Mm-hmm.
with her when she got married. So she took care of all of the kids, and since Marina died giving birth to Vasya, Dunya was essentially Vasya's mom.
Right.
Because Anna didn't want to have shit to do with her.
Right. So the father comes home and they're like, you need to get married because your little girl needs a mother. And he's like, well, okay.
Well, yeah. And I mean, they were, Alyosha was pretty young too. So he was only, like what, 5 or 7 years older than Vasya, I think, something like that.
Yeah. So then the oldest daughter gets married off. The oldest son joins the priesthood.
I think he was the second oldest. He was the second son. I think Kolya is the oldest.
Fair enough. I will just go out on a limb and say that I was multiple times thoroughly exasperated by trying to keep track of who the fuck everybody was. And we didn't just have like little onesie, twosie names. Everybody had like 6 to 10 names.
Although I guess that is true because they had their formal names and then they had their diminutives.
Yes, and then at the very beginning, it starts off by Dunya telling the children a story, and I legit thought that the people in that story were going to be the characters that this book was about.
Well, some of them were.
I started writing down those names, and then realized, oh no, the story's over. So yes, the whole winter. What was he? The king?
Yeah.
It also
Winter King.
Morosco.
Yeah, so he is a character in the book, but yeah, all of those people from Dunya's story, they don't fucking matter. And I was like, oh, okay.
They did come back because, I mean, it was referenced. It was referenced several times later where they're talking about the dowry and, she went and
but they weren't the characters that I needed to keep track of.
No,
so I drew a fat line through them, and then we went back to the 5 kids that this guy has and the 2 wives that he had, and then we started keeping track of the horse, and the priest shows up, and
that fucking priest.
I do appreciate that the very devout second wife and the priest are easily the most evil, malicious characters in this book.
For sure.
But yeah, there's there were several times when I say that I fucking hated it in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to set it down and put it away and come back to it like 3 days later because I was like, if it had been like a physical copy, I would have thrown it at the wall. I'm like, who the fuck is this now? I gotta go back. I don't know who you are. What just happened? Why is this person such an asshole? Yeah, it was just this took me longer to get into than probably any other book I've ever read.
Wow. I'm glad that you made it through. Also, Ingrid says, boom, 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 boom.
Well, if Sister Ingrid Bergman had been in this book, she probably would have been evil too, with all the other Christians.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're terrible.
you know, so even the evil people. Okay, so let's talk about the priest. So so the reason that the priest shows up is because, oh, Carol, thank you, Carol.
See?
You're not my favorite person right now, Carol, but I mean, that's fine. You know I love you. You know I love you. So the priest is very charismatic, and he's getting... Well, no, this is why he was sent to the north, right? So he was in Moscow, and he was gaining incredible popularity, and the prince was threatened by that and said, you know, he's got to go. Either he's got to die or we got to send him off someplace. And then it was decided that they didn't want to kill him because then that would turn him into a martyr. So they sent him out to the northern area to go live with Pyotr's family on his lands in their church. And so
fate worse than death.
Well, it was for him, I think, for sure. So he goes out there, and you know, this is an area that is not. I mean, it's not a metropolitan area. It's not. You know, this is still while Christianity is still a thing here, and they are, you know, there are some devout folks. They still believe in the old ways too. You know, they talk to the, you know, their house spirits, and you know,
and they make offerings.
And they make offerings. You know, they do the things that they've done for generations and generations. So the priest shows up, and Anna, the stepmother, is thrilled because, first of all, he's handsome, and she's just kind of taken with him. And he's also somebody that, you know, he's living essentially the life that she wished for, just to be by herself and devoted to God. She has kind of this thing for him. Meanwhile, he sees that they've still got all these pagan shit going on, and he wants to strike the fear of God into the citizenry, and essentially Anna and the priest focus in on Vasya, because there's something clearly going on with Vasya. The townsfolk call her the witch woman, and you know, she's just clearly got some gifts that don't fit in with Christianity. So
if they're not from God, you know who they have to be from.
Exactly, they've got to be from the devil. Mm-hmm. So you've got that whole paganism versus Christianity thing going on. You've got the patriarchy versus, you know, any sort of feminist thoughts going on. And then you've got things going on with the family. You've got the brother Alexander, who wants to be a monk, and his father's like, fine, go fucking be a monk, but you're not my son anymore. You can stay here and work the land and become the lord of the manor. So you've got that. Then you've got Morosko, who is the winter prince, I guess. And he used to be known as Death, and like Colette had said, the Frost King. So like Colette said, little Vasya goes off into the woods, gets lost, and stumbles upon this one-eyed, scar-faced dude in the woods, and
chained to a tree, right?
I think, was he? I don't remember if he was chained to a tree. I know he's bound to that land. So it turns out that that old man, the one-eyed man, is actually the bear. It's Morosco's brother, who he's a bad guy, and he just wants to be unbounded from that land, be able to roam and create havoc and chaos, and it becomes pretty much like a battle for Vasya between the Frost King and his brother, the bear, and shit and stuff
Shit and
and
stuff.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's a lot of insanity.
There is quite a lot of
insanity stuff going on.
insanity. I was listening to this book when I was Minecrafting, and every once in a while I had to stop Minecrafting and back up the story. I'm like, what did I just hear? I'm going to back it up. But, this reminded me, this story. Now hold on to your seats. Don't jump up yet. It reminds me of all that matters in the respect that you either love it or you don't love it, right? I've had people say, oh my God, I love that story. And I've heard people go, what the hell's the big deal about this story, right? Slice of life. What the hell? Okay. That's kind of what this was for me. I didn't hate it. I didn't like certain elements of it, but I also had to keep in mind that it did blend in Russian folklore, and that it was in times in medieval where women had very strict roles to play in society and the class system. And so I had to keep that in mind. But honestly, mostly I was bored to tears. Mostly.
Well, I still love you both, but I mean, so there's a lot of all this stuff going on, and then toward the end, it's the big battle, right? So we've got, I mean, Jesus Christ, there's vampires and zombies.
And where the fuck did they come from? Like, that seems really weird that suddenly there were vampires.
But she had been warned several times, beware the dead.
Okay.
Personally, I think if they had dwelled more on the dead, it might have been a little more exciting.
Okay, I'm starting to like you a little less. All right, so this is a how long have we been? Oh, we're almost done. We've been talking for 27 minutes. Well, I'm sad that you guys didn't love it as much as I did, but
I think we probably knew that we weren't going to, because you love it so much.
That's true.
Sherry, let me ask you something. Why did you love this book so much?
Yeah, I want to know that too.
Okay. I love the setting.
Okay.
I love the mythology of it. Mm-hmm. I love that Vasya wouldn't back down, and it was just, I mean, she tried to kind of fit in with her family and do what was right for her family. I mean, she could have left, but she went back to save them. For her, family was everything. And maybe it's because my family, growing up was kind of shit, but I really admired her. I loved Morosco. I loved the relationship that they had, because I thought it was interesting, and it seemed to catch him by surprise too.
Yeah, I was concerned that it was somehow going to become romantic.
Yeah, I mean, she. I think I didn't worry so much about that, because so Morosco had met Pyotr and one of the sons. I can't remember.
When they went to Moscow to shop for a new wife and a new husband for the daughter.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because Pyotr's first wife had some like royal connections or something.
Yeah, she was the daughter of Peter II, right?
Something. Yeah, there was some shit going on. So they went to Moscow and were talking with the prince in order to set up some politically advantageous matches. Especially for Olga, I think Pyotr didn't really give a shit. He just wanted somebody to come and care for his kids because his kids needed a mom. And Dunya is too old and like, psh, I'm gonna lay up here on this oven and stay warm and tell y'all some stories. But beyond that, I'm kind of done. So Morozko was looking at Pyotr's horse, and Pyotr's son got all his chest all puffed up and said, "Who the fuck are you touching my dad's horse?" And Morozko's like, "Oh, I'm going to cut your throat." You know, and so what happened was Pyotr agreed to give Vasya this pendant from this dude who he doesn't know who he is in exchange for his son's life. He's like, okay, cool. So,
and then
Pyotr, yeah, but right, because he thinks she's just a little kid at this point. She's only 6 or 7 years old, something like that.
She's not old enough to rape yet.
Right. She's got to be at least 12 for that.
Right.
So
like the new wife.
Right.
Who strangely does not come around to the regular raping. Weird. She's so odd.
But she was older, wasn't she?
She was older, but she certainly wasn't consenting.
No, well, I mean, consenting really wasn't a thing, I guess. But yeah. She did her duty.
So it's like, they take a main character, the father, who, up until that point, I had pretty good feelings about.
Yeah, that did make me feel a little bit bad.
I didn't have good feelings about him anymore.
Yeah, I still had good feelings about him because he was a good dad.
He was a man of his time. Is that what you're saying?
He was a man of his time.
And these are the reasons you like the story?
No. I got caught up by the pendant. Right. Because and the romantic thing with Morozko, because he came to Dunya in a dream, and Dunya's like, she's too young. I'm not going to give this to her. And Morozko's like, okay, you're right. That's
because they saw that as like a betrothal type gift.
I don't know if it was like a betrothal type gift, but definitely some sort of claiming her as his. But he just mostly took care of her and made sure that she had what she needed and showed up on more than once to save her ass. And so yeah, I loved all the creatures. I loved when she was talking to the creature, the woman in the water, the creature in the water who she saved the priest Constantine from.
Too bad.
Exactly. And that was a choice that she made, but I still think she made the right choice. It just, I love the tone. I love the writing. I thought the writing was beautiful.
I didn't really get into the story until the moment where Morozko, was it Morozko or was it the bear? I guess it's the bear, comes to Constantine, who is tortured by the fact that he does not hear God, that he prays to God, and then God, because I guess it was pretty standard that if God has something for you to do, he'll just talk to you and tell you, like run for president.
Right.
But anyway, so the bear starts speaking to him and he thinks it's God.
Right.
And he starts telling him what to do. And that's when it really got interesting for me, to the point where from that point on, I was engaged with the story.
So like the
I was
last
interested to see
the last quarter of the book. Wow. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, because that, to me, that felt a little bit like that felt a little Hawthorne-esque, right? A little Scarlet Letter-y.
Yeah.
How the husband shows up and gets to know the Puritan priest, and because he knows that he knocked up his wife, and he pretends to
I
be
still
a
haven't
friend.
read that.
You've never read The Scarlet Letter?
Nor seen any of the adaptations.
And don't see
Okay,
any of
because
the adaptations.
so
Because they
don't.
changed the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
when it was time for Demi Moore to be Hester Prynne, which let's just say, what? To that
she?
casting.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't Winona Ryder play her also?
Maybe. Not that I'm aware of. The adaptation that came out that I remember was Demi Moore, I think. And they made it very sexy, which
wasn't that Gary Oldman? Wasn't Gary Oldman the priest?
I think it was, yeah. So maybe you're thinking Winona Ryder, because wasn't she in Dracula with Gary?
She was with Gary Oldman, but I didn't know Gary Oldman was in the other one.
We may have to consult the IMDb, but anyway, yeah, they turned it into some sort of love story with a happy ending and some dumb bullshit. And that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really So, Sherry, did you ever read the other two in the series?
I read the second one.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Also, Vasya is getting a bit older. She takes off.
No, I don't need a summary. I'm just asking, did you read it? Sorry.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
I should have been more specific.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just gonna drink now and be quiet.
I am looking up the Scarlet Letter movie. Yes, It was Demi Moore was Hester Prynne and Gary Oldman was Dimmesdale.
Yeah, I did read the second one, and I'm going to give you a damn summary anyway, because that's what I'm going to do, and we have a lot of time. And
you're going to like it.
Yeah, apparently.
And you're going to like it, damn it. Vasya goes off to Moscow, and if I remember correctly, she passes for a while, and while she's on the road, because obviously she's not supposed to be a woman on the road on this big ass horse.
Well, and she takes her sentient pony.
Yes, Solovey. She takes Solovey.
I like the pony. That was kind of a cool
he was
character.
a big stallion. He was no pony. He was a big monstrous stallion. And that was another thing that I really liked about the Bear and the Nightingale was the communication with the horses, and the way that she's just so innocent about it. Since she was a young kid, having these conversations with all of these mythical characters, and so it was just normal for her. And how she worked hard to make sure that they were able to continue to help. She sacrificed of herself, so that they could,
like little scraps of bread and
or even her blood, even.
And
the stepmother shows up and beats her.
Right.
For speaking with the spirits.
Right. Because she doesn't do that. And then she also has a younger daughter, Irina, who is just sweet as can be, who I really liked her. She was just a sweet little kid. But the second book, it has more palace intrigue, stuff like that. You've got the sister, Olga, is in that one. The priest brother, Alexander, he plays a bigger role in that one too. So for all of you folks who did enjoy the book, The second one you'll like that too. And I haven't read the third one, but I do plan to reread the second one and read the third one this year. So there.
You mean in 2023?
Yeah. My goal for 2023 is to buy no new books and to read books I already have,
So you
or
already
that I
have,
can get from the library.
you already have book 3.
I do. I got all 3 of them as arcs. Shut up.
He's the house protector. Come on now.
Nah. Woof, woof, woof.
I wanted to like this book. I really did because I knew how much you did like it.
Yeah,
I just couldn't.
that's okay.
Honestly, I was just so damn bored.
Okay, thank you, Carol.
What Carol say?
I appreciate that.
So Carol never got all the way through the book then?
No, I thought she was going to read it with me the second time. She said, "I know I've read this," and then today I did see that she did quit on Goodreads, and that's okay. So, what else have you guys been reading? I know Andy, you read a Robert McCammon book.
Oh my God,
that you forced me to buy.
Oh, listen, let me tell you something about this. I remember loving Robert McCammon's work back in the 80s. I don't remember exactly when he came on the scene. It might have been late 70s. And I think I had read everything up until, I guess it was Blue World, whatever his last one was in the 80s, whatever. And he's had a resurgence because now he's got a whole nother series of books.
Oh, wow.
And they take place in like, old world America, like colonial kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was zipping through Audible, messing around, and McCammon popped up, and I went, there's like a couple of books I remember reading that I really liked, but I haven't read them in so long, it would almost be brand new. Like a scene would come up, and you go, oh yeah, I kind of remember something like it, but not the details. So I saw they had Stinger on audiobook. And I'm like, And it was only on Audible. It's like an Audible exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go on Scrib, So I'm like, okay, well, I remember I did like it. So I picked it up. The narrator kicked ass. And the story kicked ass. I'm staying up till 3 a.m. to get out to work the next day. I can't stop listening. And
That's
then
crazy.
When it was almost done, getting to the real exciting part, I remember going, okay, I got to put this book down because it was like 1:30 in the morning. I had to go to work tomorrow. So I put it down and I lay down, right? Turn everything off, lay down, laying there, moving from one side to the other like a roasting chicken. And about an hour later, I crack open an eye. I can't sleep. Okay. So I turn the light on and I listen to the audiobook until it was done.
Yeah, we did a show on Robert McCammon several years ago.
Mm-hmm. The Wolf Hour,
remember.
I think, wasn't it? The Wolf Hour.
Oh yeah, it was the Wolf's Hour, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So Andy sends me this text, says, "Oh, this was so fun. The narrator kicks ass." So I go and I look. I'm like, I feel like I have this because we went through a Robert McCammon phase. Like Swan Song, so good.
Oh,
so good. So good. So I'm always down for giving it a shot. So I find I don't have it. I don't have any more credits. I canceled my Audible account because this year is all about saving money. And so I go on Amazon and I see that it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I check out the ebook, go back to Audible, and then I can get it for $7.50. Nice. So I went ahead and bought it that way.
It's definitely worth $7.50. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot how good. I mean, there's a few things you're going, but because it's the 80s, it's kind of anyway. Well, hey,
there you go.
Anyway,
there you go.
But oh my God, it's like you're just you're always on the edge of your seat, and I love how he does that with his chap. I think we lost Colette.
We did.
Oh my
We did.
goodness. So he'll be working up a scene, he'll have a chapter, and just when it gets really good, he goes into a new chapter, and then he picks up with another character. So he doesn't, you know what I mean? So you're like, ah! So you have to keep listening because you got to figure out what the hell's going on, right? And the narrator does great, does all these different voices. Oh my God, it's so good.
Nice.
Highly
Why'd you
recommend.
leave?
I went out and looked him up.
Yeah.
And there is this amazing picture that comes up of Robert McCammon. And I've been trying to paste it into the chat. And then in so doing, I ended up disconnecting myself, which was interesting.
Yeah, what weird.
Yeah, I can't get it in there. So
He looks like the guy next door,
not in this picture.
Not now? He looks different now?
Robert
Well, he looked like the
McCammon?
guy next door in the 80s.
If the guy next door was a serial killer, is that what we're saying?
And how do I share this picture?
You might just have to do a link.
Yeah, you might.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Have you read anything good recently, Colette?
I
You
don't.
working on that Western?
Sure.
Oh.
All right, hang on.
She's not even answering you anymore.
Yeah, she knows better.
All right, I'm gonna paste this link. So if you open that up, you should get like a blog post, and you'll see his picture.
Oh my God, for real?
He's wearing a tri-corner hat,
Oh my God.
and he has like 2 saw blades in his hand. So I Googled him, and that is what came up.
Oh wow.
All right, then.
That's kind of
I
scary.
will share that. Hold on. I am going to copy.
Oh my God, so cray.
And I will post it here.
And then
Boom.
your whole, oh yeah, he just looks like everybody's dad. Like,
There you go.
Without all the accoutrement.
I mean, I guess right before he shanks you.
And throws your body in the East River with with Caleb Carr's
Caleb
dad.
Carr's great uncle or whoever.
Oh my goodness. Seriously,
We were
y'all?
talking about that before you joined the stream, Andy.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. That's why it was right there for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so we have we ended up with 1, I love it, and 2, I didn't hate it the whole way through.
Right.
Which I'm okay with that. I'm going to take it as a
Yeah,
win.
I mean, thank God it did take a turn, because if it hadn't, I'd just be so angry with you right now.
You be gone, girl?
Oh.
See, yeah, Gone Girl, I couldn't even get all the way through. I was just so
But you got farther than me.
disgusted by.
Yeah,
I
she did.
get further than you.
Yeah, but that's really setting a low bar. Because I think you read like one chapter. It's like, fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's
That's exactly what I would. Fuck this.
All right. Well, I just want to point out that Colette picked this book that we're going to be doing in January. So, not to be competitive or anything, but it better fucking be good. I think your worst pick is by far
the worst.
Killing Cupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least that one was funny.
I think the show was funnier.
But it wasn't meant to be funny. Like, I think it was funny because of how vehemently we detested it and the author and the characters.
We did,
like,
yes.
That was not a comedic book.
No, it was not. No, but
I can't think of a book that we've done. Well, I mean, because Gone Girl was pretty awful.
I mean, I realized that was the author's intent. I do realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
but-
feel like Killing Cupid was worse,
It was
right?
definitely
Because I think we
I
were
agree.
supposed to like those characters.
Yes, we
And
were
it's
supposed to
just
like. Yes,
impossible to like them.
It
And
was.
the whole notion that, at some point the woman would fall in love with her stalker and that would be fine. And then they would have a regular romance is just vile in every sense of the word. Whereas the characters in Gone Girl were just assholes. And I feel like they were meant to be assholes.
they were supposed to be. Yeah,
Because they were all assholes, it
Yeah.
just made it impossible for me to get emotionally invested in what happened to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Killing Cupid, it wasn't so much that there was the romance, but that once he moved on to be with somebody else, then she was very upset about that.
Like, wait a minute, you're supposed
Yeah.
to be stalking me and sitting on my
Yeah.
toilet with your pants down while I'm not
No.
home. What's happening?
That was the best part of the show. Your
That
reaction
was.
to that toilet
Yeah.
scene.
Yes.
Scene. Oh my god, so good.
Yes.
Is that one been uploaded?
Oh, that was that. Yes, yeah.
So do yourselves a favor, gang. Go and watch.
I think it's like 47 minutes in, because I know that I've written that down before.
Well, and just to be clear, like, we were picking a book with a Valentine theme for February. We
Right,
hadn't
that's
read
right.
it.
That's right.
We weren't having any success coming up with something. And then I found this book that had Cupid in the title, and I think it was about murder, but I don't even remember the murder anymore.
Yeah,
And I was like, let's
there
just
was
do this one.
yeah there was the murder of the he murdered the lady in her apartment.
God,
Didn't
you
he
remember
throw
way
her
off
off a
of you.
balcony or something?
I mean, I remember viscerally hating both of them, but I don't
Yeah.
remember him killing anybody. But
Yeah,
maybe he did, because that would
No,
make
he did.
sense.
Yeah. He did kill. He killed.
But I mean, luckily, eventually she fell in love with him, even though he was
Luckily,
a murderous
yeah.
stalker who
The
broke into
toilet
her
sitter.
home and sat on her toilet to be close
Don't sit on the toilets.
Unless you have
to
to go.
stalkers.
Them's fighting words. Ah.
Is she kicking up her legs, or was that her the angle you had it at? I thought she was doing
Woo-hoo-hoo! That's a sin, sinner.
I thought she was doing a high kick there for a second.
Woo!
Oh my god.
I just got my hand up her habit.
That's a bad habit.
Oh, that's
I mean, only if they're doing it wrong.
Oh, rough.
You know, what kind of meat priests eat on Friday?
None. So, anybody doing New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I'm not buying any books.
Besides Sherry not buying any books or reading what she's got or going to the library. Anything else?
I mean, I'm starting a diet.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
How are you going to do this? Are you going to just go vegetarian or?
No. No. I don't think that I would be a satisfied vegetarian.
Me either.
And that would just make me like an angry little old lady. I already yell at the TV now.
Oh my. Oh, speaking of TV, did you watch Midnight Mass or Haunting of Bly Manor yet?
I watched the first episode of Bly Manor.
What'd you think?
I have watched the first episode. Okay, so I didn't hate it.
Oh no.
But I have not watched episode 2 yet.
Okay. It gets better every episode. That helps.
It does. Yeah. It does.
Okay. I believe you. But
I still don't know about the diet thing. I'm sorry. I blew you off the track by asking about the shows.
I mean, I think I'm just going to do Weight Watchers, right? Because they make it super duper easy. You install the app on your phone and you scan barcodes at the grocery store and it tells you how many effing points it is. It's like dieting for idiots.
Yeah, my buddy April did that. She had a lot of success with it.
Yeah.
I would like to suggest you look into Noom. It's not Noom, Noom. It's not especially cheap, but it only takes a few minutes a day, and it's really easy to use. I started it last June. No, the June before, I think. And I was just about to tip 200, and I got down to 164.
Oh, nice.
And I stopped using it. I didn't use it at all last year. And I'm still maintained a good 25-pound loss. So I'm going to start that up. But it's really easy to use. Even TJ used it. Another friend of mine had been using it. And it's you don't have to worry about points or anything. You just you log your food, and it's in categories: green, yellow, and orange. And green is all of your. It's all about calorie density, right? So, yeah. But before you sign up for Weight Watchers, look at Noom too.
Okay.
You can do a free trial, I think, for a while. But Noom, do the trial, then don't renew because it's too much money. They come back with a ridiculous drop in price. That's what I'm hoping for.
So
yeah,
they're like, we miss you. Like one of those things. And then
Yeah, I think so.
Like a paid subscription service for your vehicle.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's like Nutrisystem, right? So do Nutrisystem, you have to buy all their food. So
yeah, you don't have to do
when
any
you
of that.
get all the way down to your goal weight,
you don't have to buy
buying their food.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if you stop buying their food, you have learned absolutely nothing about how to manage your weight and how to eat properly, because all they've taught you is eat this boxed shit that costs you, $300 a week or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
So that is a complete scam.
Yeah, don't do any of that shit. Cook for yourself. And they, you can even do when you go out to eat. They both with both Weight Watchers and Noom, you can still log all that stuff. So, yeah. So we're about done.
We are definitely.
Oh wait, Andy, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Yep.
All right then.
Don't die. Other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, that is
I feel that's a good one.
Increasingly challenging.
Depends on how much more of this pepper vodka I drink. Holy crap! That's why I keep my lips are now numb. So I'm like, am I dreaming?
Yay!
Seriously, y'all, pepper vodka rocks.
What brand is it?
I'll have to look, and then
I don't know.
I'll let you know.
It came from that same place.
I have a picture of it. Hold on. I have a picture of it. I should be able to tell you, and I have to shake. Oh, and we can talk about that offline. So we will talk about that.
You are.
Next month's
sounded
book.
Very exciting.
I'm all over the place today.
Next month's book is Even Though I Knew the End by C.L. Polk. It is a sapphic fiction. We haven't done one of those in a very long time.
Yeah, very long time.
So
I think since we did Sarah Waters, right?
Oh, the paying guest.
You're right.
Yeah, which was twisty and good.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it was one of the few books that Colette really liked.
That's not true.
I feel like it is. You guys are tough.
The difference is that typically, Sherry, when you recommend a book, you've already read it. And you know that you like it.
Yes.
I've never other than The Alienist, which I didn't really recommend. I recommended it to you guys, and you guys said we should do that book. I don't think I've done a book on this show that I've already read. So
I do
sometimes it's the terrible book.
It's true. It's true. One day we'll do Geek Love,
Oh my God. All right, then on that note, everybody, a happy new year and a very prosperous new 2023 coming up. And
Yeah,
wish
and
you
don't
all
die.
don't die. Wish you all
That
the
should
best.
be that's our theme.
Yeah.
That's our theme for 2023.
Don't die. All right. So long, y'all.
Bye, everybody.